Hello everyone, welcome to Commerce Classes. Today we will be taking up a detailed problem on preparation of the balance sheet with a lot of amounts and adjustments. Now whenever we are reading a problem, we need to understand the categories as well as for additional information try to put some mark so that you remember. To the extent possible, put a mark for the adjustments. So given is the trial balance of Star Limited, fixed assets, investments, closing stock, sundry debtors, very clear-cut categories. Share issue expenses. Now, share issue expenses is something that you paid and you are supposed to write off these amounts. Now, these will come under other assets, other current assets or other non-current assets, depending upon the time during which you are to write off these expenses. Now, if you are to write off these expenses within 1 year, okay, from the current reporting period, then these are your other current assets. But if these are to be written off over a longer period, then these can be categorized as other non-current assets. So you will have to make a call if nothing regarding this is given in the problem. So we will just look at the additional information. If something is there which can explain the nature, that is fine. Otherwise, we will classify them by making some assumption. Staff advances, prepaid tax, prepaid expenses, advance to suppliers. So these are your advances. Now when tax is paid in advance, it can be netted against its provision. So we'll have to see the provision, yes. So we can put a star mark here because you have a provision alongside. Now you have payment 60,000 and provision of 62,500. So you cancel the payment against this and you are left with 2,500 in provision. So this will qualify under short-term provisions. Then you have equity capital, cash balances, then preference capital, surplus, security premium, debenture redemption reserve. To the extent possible, try to connect the amounts so that we are not mistakenly taking any amount written above or below the main amount. Okay. This should be done whenever the list is very long. Sundry creditors. This is loan from subsidiary. Bills payable. Okay. So debentures are long-term borrowings. Loan from directors, we need to see whether it's a long-term or short-term. Creditors, bills payable are trade payables. Provision, we know that it is a short-term provision. Now look at the adjustments. Transfer to debenture redemption reserve 50,000 and general reserve 25,000. Now if something is to be transferred to the reserves out of surplus, it reduces our surplus and it increases our reserves. Now we are to put a mark for the same. How can we do this? Either we can deduct from surplus directly, we can write here minus 50,000 minus 25,000. And here in the debenture redemption reserve and general reserve, we can add the amounts, right? So you can just write it as plus 25,000 in general reserve plus 50,000 in debenture redemption reserve, or you can just put number 1 mark here, which means that there is some adjustment relating to this. Some adjustment is to be done and we will read only first adjustment for this, right? We won't waste time in reading again and again all adjustments. Company declared dividend on equity capital after declaring preference dividend. Now see, it says company declared dividend. It means dividend has been declared. So it is now a liability. So we need to add this in our information. Dividend declared. It's a liability now, equity and preference. On preference it is 9%, that means 9,000. On equity it is 15%. So 15% of 4,40,000, 66,000. So this is your total dividend, 75,000. Okay. Now it is to be paid in April. So it's a liability, but when we pay this, we give it out of our profits. So this second adjustment is also relevant here. So we will put here number 2. So when we are writing surplus in the balance sheet, we will be looking at these 2 adjustments to be done here. Now it also says that the amount is to be put into a separate account. This is a usual practice. When a company declares dividend, then amount of dividend is transferred from its normal bank account to a separate bank account called dividend bank account. So it implies that your bank balance will no longer be 1,10,000. Out of this, 75,000 will be left for the or kept for the dividends in a separate dividend bank account. So it will be left with 1,10,000 minus 75,000. Overall, it is not going to affect you. Total balance is still the same. The only thing is now it is in a separate purse. It's in a separate account. Okay. This entire capital is issued and subscribed. So obviously, if nothing else is given, this whole capital is issued, subscribed, and called and paid. Loan from directors and subsidiary company are unsecured and short term. All right. So where were the loans? Loans from directors and subsidiary company. So this is number 4. These are short term loans. Okay, so we can write here short term. That way we will be picking up the amounts correctly. Creditors include for goods and for expenses. So an explanation for creditors is given. So just put a mark here. Debentures are secured against the fixed assets. So your debentures are secured. This is one thing. Secondly, it includes interest due. Now, interest is reported separately in other current liabilities. So, out of 5,20,000, 5 lakh is the amount of your debentures, that is long-term borrowings, and 25,000 will be your interest. Within this borrowing also, debentures, long-term loans, term loans are long-term borrowings. But if any amount is redeemable or payable within the 12 months of the current reporting period, then that part becomes current and it shows in the other current liabilities. So you need to look at the information carefully. Stock components are given, which means these details must be given in the notes. So when we prepare notes to balance sheet, we will have to refer to this. Out of debtors, debt of 22,500 is more than 6 months old. That means this is old and remaining are new. And all debts are unsecured but considered good. Okay. So where are our debtors? We have their details as well. All details are given in the notes to balance sheet. It doesn't affect your working, but you need to give the details. P&L balance is arrived like this. So P&L balance, right. Okay. So surplus. So in surplus, we are given the details. 9th working. It says ignore previous year figures and CDT. Usually when a company declares dividend, then on that dividend, it is required to pay corporate dividend tax to the government at a specified rate. So when you gave this 75,000 rupees as dividend, you need to pay corporate dividend tax. So you need to make a provision for CDT also. So you need to provide for corporate dividend tax payable. That is also given out of the surplus. But this question says ignore it. It means we won't take it. Suppose it says provide for CDT at 20%. Now this is 75,000. So its 20% will be 15,000. So you will provide CDT payable. It becomes a liability and this amount is deducted from the surplus. Okay, so we have noted down all the adjustments. Now we have to prepare the balance sheet. Now in order to prepare the balance sheet, we all know that it is to be prepared in a separate format and all the categories and subcategories must be given. All right. So what we can do right now is that we can make a simple format. That is the company's name, Star Limited, balance sheet as at 31st of March 2019. Okay. Now amounts for current year, because previous year is not given, note number, particulars, and herein in the very first column we can write the main categories. That is the two broad categories, equity and liabilities. Now we need to remember the two layers of the classification. Two layers are First layer is in equity we have two components, in liabilities we have two components. Then within these two components we have some subcategories. So keep a short note handy with you when you are practicing questions. When you read it again and again, you will remember, right? Okay, so in the equity capitals, our first main category is shareholders funds. In equities you have two categories, shareholders funds and share application money pending allotment. Okay, so in shareholders funds we have first subcategory share capital, second subcategory reserve and surplus, third subcategory money received against share warrants. Now that money received against share warrants is not given, so forget about that. Only two categories are there which are given to us, so we will make notes for the same. So alongside we will start preparing notes to balance sheet. Number one is share capital. Okay, now it says the ICAI guidelines, basically they say that all the details should be given. The reconciliation of capital from opening to closing balance should be given. Then the categories of capital, equity and preference should be reported separately with authorized, issued, subscribed, called up, paid up capital. Plus if anybody is having share capital more than 5% of the total paid up capital, then that person's name must be reported separately. Capital held by directors, officers should be reported separately. But for our question, you see, these things are there in theory. If your question is that write a short note on disclosure of share capital, you will be writing up all these points. But when you are doing a practical question, we don't need to look at all the details. I mean, are we given any person's name or anything like this? We don't need to dig the facts. Just look at the information. If something is given, record it, otherwise leave it. Okay, don't waste too much time on that. So regarding capital, we are given equity and preference capital, and we were given that this is the total capital authorized, issued, etc. So we will just record this much. Okay, we are not to dwell on further issues. So equity, share capital, we can say authorized, issued, subscribed, called and fully paid capital, because we are not given arrears. Otherwise arrears and the shares which are forfeited, they are reported separately. Okay, so you have equity capital of 44,000 shares at the rate of 10 rupees. This is the only information we will write it. Second is preference share capital. So all class, category, etc. will be given. Authorized, all this thing. It is 100 rupees capital of 1 lakh rupees. That means 1000 shares at the rate of rupees 100. So that is 1 lakh. That gives you 5,40,000. Alright. So this is your share capital. Second, reserve and surplus. Now in the reserves and surplus, you can look at the reserves. These should be the credit balances. So just look at the credit balances. Don't waste time on reading additional things. And the amounts which we are already using, which we have written, you can put a cross mark or just cross them here. That way also you will save your time in a practical question. Anyhow, reserve and surplus. So look at the reserves and surpluses. We have surplus, we have securities premium. Now as per the guidelines, I mean, we don't need to follow the sequencing here. We are to follow only 2 layers of classification. This is the third layer. Okay, the first layer was shareholders funds. Second is share capital, reserve and surplus. Now what is coming in reserve and surplus is another category, but we don't need to follow any pattern here, but at least we know that we should distinguish between capital and revenue reserves. So that way security premium can be reported first. Then you have debenture redemption reserve 2 lakh, but we have a 0.1 adjustment. What was that? It was transfer to debenture redemption reserve 50,000 plus transfers during the current year 50,000. Okay, that is why it is very important to put marks for all the additional information. Then you will not forget anything. General reserve balance is 75,000 plus transfer during the current year 1 lakh. Surplus is usually recorded at the end of the list. Rest of the things can move in any manner, but surplus is recorded at the end. Okay, so that is, so here you had securities premium, debenture redemption reserve, general reserve and surplus. Okay, let us see the surplus. It is 2,80,000. It has 3 adjustments. Number 1, P&L balance is arrived at like this. So we need to give this detail. So surplus in the beginning 1,48,500 plus profit of current year 1,31,500. So 2,80,000. What else is there? In the surplus, next first adjustment was transfers were made. Okay, so less transfer to general reserve, less transfer to debenture redemption reserve. So 25,000, 50,000. Then another adjustment, second adjustment was dividend declared. Okay, so dividend declared was 75,000 in all. So equity and preference. 66,000, 9,000, 75,000. CDT has been ignored, otherwise that would have been provided from this also. So you are left with how much in the surplus? 1,30,000. Okay, so we have a total of 5,10,000. Okay, so this is our balance sheet format, 5,10,000. Now third category, that is the money against share warrants is not given. Next main category, share application money pending allotment is not given. Then the next category is from the liability side, because it is equity and liability. In liabilities we have 2 categories, long-term liability, short-term liability, and we know for sure that at least one long-term liability is there, that is 8% debentures. So we will record the category. Okay, now after each subcategory we can leave a line, a space. I'll give you the reasoning for that. Now long-term liabilities or non-current liabilities. So non-current liabilities, which includes number 1, long-term borrowings. Okay, so we have 8% debentures here. So third is long-term borrowings, 8% debentures, 5 lakh. We can say secured debentures because we were given these are secured. Okay, now in the category of non-current liabilities, we have long-term borrowings, we have deferred tax liability, we have other long-term borrowings and long-term provisions. When we look here, we are not given any such information, so leave other things. Next is current liabilities. Now in the current liabilities, the first thing is short-term borrowings. So do we have any other borrowings? Yes, you have loans from directors, loans from subsidiary company, which are short-term and unsecured. So we will be writing up short-term borrowings. Our fourth note, short-term borrowings. Our fourth working note is so unsecured loan from directors, unsecured loan from subsidiary company, 10,000, 70,000. So total is 80,000. Okay. Next is trade payables. Next category here is trade payables. Then you have other current liabilities, and then you have short-term provisions. Okay. Now in the trade payable, that is fifth working note, fifth note to balance sheet. Trade payables includes creditors for expenses, right? Creditors for purchases. So let us look at the creditors. Yes, 58,500 with a note here. Now this fifth point was Creditors include creditors for goods and for expenses. So we will write that only. Creditors for goods. Give as much detail as is given. Creditors for expenses 18,500. Alright, so no other information regarding this. Or we have bills payable, etc. Bills payable 21,500. So bills payable 80,000. Okay, so we have trade payables 80,000. Then you have other current liabilities, and we know that we are left with dividend declared. Okay, so other current liabilities, which includes dividend declared, equity and preference 66,000, 9,000, 75,000. Now look at the liabilities that we are left with. In the debentures you had outstanding interest. Alright, so that will also be reported here. So outstanding interest on debentures 25,000. Alright, so it will be reported. So that gives us funding. If we make a habit of crossing the amounts that we have written, then our job becomes easier, because we will be left with only the selected information. Okay, so then you can easily check. Next is other provisions, and we know that we have a provision for taxes. Current provisions. So provision for taxes 62,500 less tax paid in advance. Okay, 60,000. So we are left with 2,500 of provision. So short term provisions 2,500. Okay, so this way we will total up. Second main component is assets. Now in the assets we have first component as non-current assets. In non-current assets we have first category fixed assets, which includes tangibles, intangibles and assets under development. So we have fixed assets given to us, so we will record tangibles. Now this is your 8th working note. Okay, so we are given fixed assets, so we can simply record fixed assets tangibles. We are not given any details, so we will just leave it, just 7,50,000. Next component here is non-current investments. We are also given that, and we know that there is no adjustment, so we can simply write it here, and in the notes also we will record non-current investments. Amount is 2,50,000. Okay, then you have next category herein deferred tax assets, long-term loans and advances, and then you have looking at other components. So none of other long-term assets are there, so we can now start with the current assets. Within current assets, our first category is current investments, right? So in the question there are no current investments, so there comes 3 main current assets, which are inventories, receivables and cash equivalents. So we will take up inventories first, which is our next note. So we are given stock includes raw material, work in progress and finished goods. So inventories includes raw material, work in progress and finished goods. So to the extent possible we are to give the details. So all the details provided to us in the problem will be given in the notes to the balance sheet. So that gives us inventories of 3,75,000. So in inventories 3,75,000. Next is trade receivables. So let us pick up the information available for trade receivables. There are different categories: bad debts, provision for bad debts, if any. Alright, so we have the amount of receivables as 1,22,500, right? And the details are: out of debtors, 22,500 rupees of debts are more than 6 months old, remaining are less than 6 months and good, unsecured and good. So debts more than 6 months old. So we need to give separate category. Debts less than 6 months old, secured or unsecured as is given. So this is given unsecured but good. So 1 lakh. So 1,22,500. There is no provision given. So we can note down 1,22,500. Then cash and cash equivalents. So in cash and cash equivalents, we have cash in hand 12,500. Then you have cash at bank, but with the bank we have some adjustment here, so we need to look at that. What was that? Now this adjustment was that you were to declare dividend and the amount is to be put into a separate account. The company has declared dividend and it is put into a separate account, so we have to account for this. So dividend amount was 75,000, so less amount transferred to dividend bank account. Okay, so this is put into a separate account. This is the normal policy which a company follows. So we'll now be having a dividend bank account because this dividend hasn't yet been paid. It has been declared, so we are accounting. Had it been just proposed, then we won't be recording it. Since it is declared, we are recording it. So 1,22,500. Alright, then short-term loans and advances. Now looking at the short-term loans and advances. Now when we are solving a question, since this is a bit comprehensive problem, like we are to prepare separate notes, etc. So it is better that whichever item or account we have taken up, we should cancel it out. Just put a mark at some place. That way when we are looking at short-term loans and advances, we don't need to look at all the details. We know that this has been marked, this has been marked, this has been marked, this has been marked. So we are left with only these three. Right? So marking should be done. It makes our work easier. So we have staff advance, 1 lakh. Then we have advance tax, but taxes are just against the provisions. We had some provision for taxes, the two were cancelled and the provision was left as a balance because that was more. Then you have advance to suppliers, advance to suppliers, so 27,500, and you have prepaid expenses also, right? So 45,000. That gives us 1,72,500. So short-term loans and advances 1,72,500. Other current assets. Now if we have marked, then we can easily see that if anything is left or not. So in the other current assets, we are having share issue expenses. Alright. So 20,000 here. Right. So we have other current assets including only one information, 20,000. Now in a balance sheet, of course, we can have the total of all the components, equities and liabilities at one place and assets at another place, but our company act and the given schedules require us to give the subtotals to the extent possible. So whenever we are writing a category, just leave a space at this for the totals. So here we have gross total 10 lakh Here we have gross total of current assets, and then we have the total of the assets 18,12,500. Same goes with the equities and liabilities. After first category, leave one space. After next category, leave another space. And then you can have subtotals, and finally when you have the total of equities and liabilities, we are just to total up the subtotal amounts. So this is how we compile the balance sheet of a company as per the Companies Act and the relevant schedules. Right? So do practice this, and next time we will be taking up statement of profit and loss and then a combined problem.